Hi, I'm Ron McNeil, producer, singer, songwriter, down here at Nashville in the tracking room with singer-songwriter, co-producer Georgie Lyons.
I know Ron from way back. We went to high school together back in Bowness in Calgary, Alberta. And we happened to run into each other about 20 years later and decided to get together and do some writing. And we spent about the last year working on some songs, co-writing, and now here we are putting together my very first album, produced by Ron.
It's been a great process so far, being able to work with Georgie, who is a fantastic singer, a great musician, and she's really coming into her own in this album. She loved being in the studio, so being able to work in Nashville with some of the best musicians in the world has been just an awesome experience for both of us. And you know, it's been a learning experience. It's been a learning curve for us. It's been everything that I could have ever asked for as my first job as a producer and co-writer on all the songs on the record with Georgie. So it's been fantastic so far.
It's been great.
I mean, how do you think, Georgie? Like, how's it been for you so far?
It's been better than I expected. I came in and we've been anticipating this for quite a while. So the weeks leading up to coming to Nashville have been really, you know, I was making sure if I was prepared enough and really anxious and not knowing what to expect and hoping that the musicians would get it and understand what we wanted in the music. And when we got here and we started playing through, it sort of exceeded my expectations. So not only did they get it, but they were able to add a bit of flair and make it that much better. So it's been an overall an incredible experience. It's been really awesome. I feel really lucky to have come out here.
Well, the first day we got to the tracking room was kind of an introduction to the artists, the musicians, the staff, everybody here, just kind of getting to know each other, getting acquainted, and then it was hard at it right after that. You know, we were having meetings in rooms with you know, 12, 15 people in a room, getting set up to lay our bed tracks down and to get after it. And from there, basically we spent a full day, probably about 10 hours total time here in the studio, with a little bit of lunch break and that time to go eat some food. And I mean, it moves fast down here. These guys are professional. They're the world class, and they just know what they're doing. And if you give them a little bit of direction, tell them what you want, they'll give it to you. And that's
yeah, it's impressive actually. But you know, the nice part about it was, even despite the fact that there are such high caliber musicians, you know, you never felt intimidated at all, and everybody made you feel really comfortable and relaxed. The very first song that I laid down for the bed tracks, I felt really uptight and nervous, and then, you know, everybody was really great at kind of calming me down and making me relax and just feel it, and then from that moment on, everything went really smooth. On day 2, started the vocal tracks over top of the bed tracks, and for me that was the funnest part, because now I could really sort of dig in and put some emotion behind the songs. So we laid about 8 songs down on day 2, and then here on day 3 we're finishing up the vocal tracks, and then spending some time with Zach, the engineer, just doing the technical things and just spending a lot of time listening and making sure everything's how we want it, and you know, the parts all fit together where they should be. So it's been a tiring but really exciting 3 days.